Hello, everyone. My name is Gregory Frank. I'm 27 years old from Los Angeles, and most importantly to me, I'm the grandson of survivors. We've all spoken at great length during this very difficult but equally enlightening journey in an attempt to understand, contextualize, and in a sense, empathize with those who lived, died, and survived the Shoah. And I'd like to use these words to share my own brief perspective. As a filmmaker, I craft stories for a living, and in this immense story of our people, we've come as close as possible to experiencing perhaps the most significant chapter of our people's history, though gratefully it's not our last. To try and make sense of this chapter, we've spent the last week in discussions where we labeled, debated, and shared our emotions in terms of pain, horror, hatred, but also hope, faith, humanity, and love. This led us to hundreds of questions, some of which can be answered individually or collectively, but many of which have no answer. The most important question to me has been, where do we go from here and how? As we've been fortunate enough to hear from so many incredible survivors and educators, the sad truth is that my future children and grandchildren won't have such a privilege. Nonetheless, I take from these amazing people their lessons and narratives as they grant me less individual ignorance and ideally for all of us more collective hope for the future. To those here today that are of my age, my generation, or younger, we now know more clearly than ever the heavy and unending responsibility that we have to carry on the mantle of our ancestors, which I believe we must do through strength, love, and empathy. To those that are of an older generation than myself, the survivors, mothers, fathers, grandparents, aunts, and uncles, know that we do not for a moment take passively the challenge that the world faces today, particularly those of our fellow Jews. Your stories have not fallen on deaf ears, your lessons will not be forgotten, and through our individual feats of strength, love, and empathy, we will ensure above all else to carry on our collective message of never again. Thank you.